r/ask Reddit. What illegal things are so common they seem legal? It is illegal to honk a car horn anywhere in New York City for non-emergency situations. The penalty is a $350 fine. They clearly don't enforce that. Nah, they just have a broader definition of emergency. For instance, is the car in front of the car in front of the car in front of you stopped at a red? You have an emergent situation on your hands. Speeding. I was parent taught for driving and my parents told me it's okay to be 5 over but not 10 over. I always heard under 9 is fine. Lemonade stands. In a lot of states, it requires a permit to have one. They don't want to arrest every child in the states. Driving with dark tinted glass. You see it so much that so many people don't realize that a lot of states have a legal limitation to how dark you can tint them. Cops don't really enforce it, but they can use it as a reason to pull you over if they wanted to. I purchased a car with windows that were already tinted. A few years later, I was pulled over for it. The officer said, "We normally don't pull people over for this, but we just got these new tint testers in." Fun fact, if the tint is original to the car, it doesn't matter what your state law says. The federal dot approved it and it is legal. State laws on tinting only apply to aftermarket tinting of windows. Hanging things from the rearview mirror. Got pulled over for my fuzzy dice once on 4/20. Sure, the cop just wanted to sniff my car, since he commented on my air freshener, which was clipped on a vent, and made me get out and stand by his cop car so he could smell me. I'm pretty sure, joke's on him, he found the only human in AZ who doesn't smoke pot. I found out about 20 years ago that it doesn't make me high, and lost all interest in it after that. Technically it's obstructing your view, but nobody'll pull you over for it unless they have ulterior motives. Edit to all y'all. I tried real hard to be a stoner in high school. Yes, I did inhale. Yes, I know how to smoke shit. I was in fact a smoker for most of my early 20s. Yes, I've tried edibles. None of it ever got me high. Yes, I know what being high is like. No, I'm not going to try cocaine, meth, or heroin. No, I don't think I'm special. I just think I'm saving cash by being the only non-stoner in Arizona. Maybe the new stuff would get me super stoned. I'll try it when I damn well feel like it. In the UK it's illegal to be drunk in a pub. Section 12 of the 1872 Licensing Act stipulates that every person found drunk on any licensed premises shall be liable to a penalty. Same in Texas. It's actually illegal to be drunk anywhere other than your home. Littering. Sadly. Traveling in basketball. In France, it's illegal to be in a public place, street, garden, etc. with less than €0.98 in your pocket. It's called vagrancy. Sounds like the old vagrancy laws in the US. If you check out Steal This Book, there was a good trick around it. Deposit some money at the bank, write a few small checks, have the teller sign the bank book verifying the balance, then go to the bank and withdraw all the money. Claim you lost your bank book. That way, if the cops stop you when you're hitching, you can show them the book and they'll believe that you have money in the bank. Worst case, they'll give you a free ride to the far side of town. That was long ago though. No one uses bank books anymore. I don't know anyone that's been arrested for vagrancy in decades. If you're homeless, they just let you freeze to death. That solves the problem. Well, in my town the underage usage of marijuana isn't exactly frowned upon anymore. Me and my group often just chill at the park and smoke. The cop that's aquays down there issued us a very stern warning: you can smoke but none of you are driving until you check with me, and as long as we check in and pass a coherence test we're good to go. IDKY, it's so lax but I'm not complaining. Well, the cop knows you're being safe and builds good rapport with you and your friends. It's a win-win in his eyes most likely. Bring him some donuts or a coffee next time you see him. We have on like 3 separate occasions. It's his birthday tomorrow, so we're getting him a cake. Would you like me to say happy birthday for you? Not wearing a helmet while riding your bike, at least in Croatia. In Michigan they successfully lobbied for the right to not wear helmets on motorcycles. I see it as a self-resolving problem. In Sweden, it's forbidden by law to be a criminal. An old law in Seattle, WA, USA is that people have to call the police department to inform them of the crime you plan to commit. Gotta love stupid laws. It is illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament. Can just imagine an MP dying of a heart attack being dragged out by their legs. The law was made because technically, anyone who dies in the hop is entitled to a state funeral, which is expensive and a lot of hassle. So naturally the only sensible thing you can do is ban people from dying there. Simply out of spite. This really sort of makes me want to hang out in the hop when I'm nearing death. Telling employees not to discuss their pay. I didn't know this was a thing until I had told my boss that I thought it was unfair that my co-worker who slept and texted on the job was being paid the same as me and I did double the work. He eventually got fired for not showing up and I got a raise. Jaywalking. Cop here. We tend to enforce this under two circumstances where it is illegal. A person is doing it like an a-hole. It's not wise to illegally cross the street at night wearing all black while you're drunk. If you do that, cause an accident, or almost cause an accident, then yes, we will enforce. B. Someone does A and dies. Now my captain is upset and wants something to be done, so we do it for a week. I apologize for my captain. Holding a salmon suspiciously. Us Brits have the best laws. It's extremely enforced in Europe, and it actually applies to USA road law. On a multi-lane road, the rightmost lane is for cruising, and the left lanes are for passing. It's not enforced here because literally everyone breaks this law, and cops can't do shit about it. That's what I understand about it, anyway. Driving in France and Italy was a ducking dream come true as someone from the USA that adheres to this rule. Are you serious? The US is worse than France? Because the only place I've been to that had worse traffic than Paris was somewhere in Turkey, where the penalty for being busted breaking traffic laws is that you have to get a driver's license. Using a phone whilst driving. Starting today in Illinois, drivers caught holding a device to talk or text will face a $75 ticket, whereas previously you only got a warning. In Texas the penalty is a 2-year license suspension and up to $900 in fines. Escort services advertise in the phone book. Hard to imagine drug dealers doing the same thing for very long. Except escort services are legal, prostitution is not. Wage theft. I'll add to that, misclassifying employees as independent contractors. Or used nearly as often to avoid overtime pay, misclassifying employees as exempt. Adultery in 20+ states in America. Hell, but sex is illegal in 14 states, just not enforced. There's an old blow law in MA, the state I grew up in, that if you ride a horse to school, the school is obligated to stable it for you. During my freshman year of high school, a senior decided to do exactly that. He lived on a horse farm and was an experienced horseback rider, so he showed up one day on a horse with a copy of the old law in his pocket. The horse was tied up in the athletic field all day and all gym classes were held inside. To this day, it's the best senior prank I've ever heard of, let alone seen myself. It's pretty common around where I live for people to go with the flow of traffic even if everyone is speeding. I've driven in some areas where pretty much everyone around me was going 75-80. People will even argue that cops will not pull you over because it is safer if everyone is just going with the flow. That is not true. They can and will still pull people over. It's a catch-22. Impeding the flow of traffic is also a crime. I didn't knew weed was illegal until I was 12 because everyone in my area had some randomly growing in their garden and I just thought nothing of it. In Florida, everything is legal. Not stopping for pedestrians at crosswalks. Pirate Bay. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.